Thank you for joining us at Text Messages, The Resurrection. I'm Rick Tex, the parasite of the show. We certainly appreciate your companionship here and your patronage. Without you, we are absolutely nothing. Now, we are going to try to make some changes to the show, ladies and gentlemen. See, one of the problems we have is we need to make such a vastly high level of changes, just a massive quantity that we don't really know where to start. So we're probably going to kick the intro for now and just get right into the textual discussions of the matters at hand, because that's really what's important. Plus, we had a bit of sound issues with matching up the actual intro music to the actual sound of me saying stuff, which we found was very undesirable. So we're just going to go ahead and can the intro music for now, at least for the foreseeable future. We might throw in a few tunes here and there, but they won't be more than 5-10 seconds or something. It's like if you go to Brighteon.com and you watch a video and they have a 10-second commercial, 5-second commercial, whatever the case may be. So essentially, that may be what we do. But I mean, we just need to make such a too many changes to count. So we're just gonna throw whatever hits the wall and then it sticks. That is basically the whole gist of it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, one of the things, say for example, NASCAR. If you're driving a NASCAR and you have maybe 2 or 3 problems, you can radio into the crew chief and say, all right, we need to fix the camber and the toe-in, and we're pushing when we enter corner 1, but coming out of corner 2, we're slipping a little bit. So the crew chief, he has a pretty, it's not a very wide array of problems there. It's a pretty small sampling, pretty small amount. So he's just going to go ahead and make a few adjustments here and there. Maybe take a half-pound of air pressure out of the right rear, maybe a little bit of caster in the front left, so then you're good to go. And see what happens the next couple laps around. But with this show, I mean, we just have such a massive volume of changes that need to be made. And we're going to go ahead and try to make them. I mean, we've been on the air for almost a year now, but we are certainly not where we need to be. All right, now, one of the things we wanted to discuss today, ladies and gentlemen, is you probably know a lot about vitamin supplements, multivitamins, and I mean, they look great and everything. They're in little cute bottles, so that they're convenient. And why not? Why not just load up on vitamins and minerals? One of the problems you have with supplemented vitamins and minerals is the bioavailability. Bioavailability isn't always there. Like, for example, in vitamin B12, the eggs in vitamin B12 have about 1/4 of the bioavailability as eggs in fish, meat, or poultry and things of that nature, and fowl meat. So right then and there, that almost tells you that if you isolate these vitamins and minerals and stick them in a little pill with a gelatinous capsule on it, number one, you're probably eating some weird plastic that you shouldn't be eating in the first place. And number two, most of the vitamins and minerals aren't going to be available, and there's probably going to be so many of them that your liver and kidneys are going to have to work overtime getting rid of the excess, especially if they're fat-soluble vitamins, which we'll get into later. See, the fat-soluble vitamins are vitamin A, D, C, and K. You probably heard of vitamin D because you get it. When you go in the sun, it allows your body to synthesize it. Now, there are some vitamins that can be synthesized in your body. Minerals are entirely food related. You have to get them from food or water, or any kind of drink, any kind of liquid. Not bad liquid though. Just make sure it's good, healthy, edible drinks. One of the specific vitamins that we wanted to tackle today were gummy vitamins. So, Healthline.com. Are gummy vitamins healthy? One of the unfortunate parts of gummy vitamins is they're essentially made so that children who have a very heavy taste preference, or say they're a super taster, there was some show on the other day about some people who had really super sensitive taste buds and they only wanted to eat the sweetest, most unhealthy, pernicious foods out there. And what happens is you can train your taste buds. Like for example, when I was a young kid, all I ate was straight sugar, which is probably why I had a couple of surgeries and all that stuff and rotten teeth and everything. But over time, once you train your taste buds, then you start to enjoy things like pecans and walnuts. See, even today, try this for an experiment one time. Eat a pineapple and then eat a pecan. The pecan will have absolutely no flavor whatsoever. Now, if you just eat mostly what would be considered quote-unquote bland food, which is probably mostly extremely healthy food, say for example, you just get to a point where you actually enjoy pecans, or just any kind of tree nut, and then you can try eating pineapple, then eating that tree nut, and then you can see that the pleasure is completely eradicated because the pineapple is so sweet, it coats all your taste buds essentially. And that's one of the dangers when you drink and eat sweet foods like that, which is why it's certainly done in moderation. Now lately I've been experimenting with some electrolytic drink during exercises it involves coconut water, lemon, and then Himalayan pink salt along with water that has, the magnesium, calcium, manganese, and all that good stuff that comes out of the ground. So I figured I'd experiment with it a little bit, see what happens. The coconut water has a lot of potassium, which if you do the ketogenic diet, you don't have any opportunities to eat potassium. And yeah, maybe tree nuts will have trace amounts, and then avocado will have some, but otherwise there's not too many sources out there. So the coconut water does have a lot of carbohydrates in it, but I figured I'd give it a shot. But one of the risks is it is very sweet. So it's always good after consuming a sweet drink like that to water it down afterwards and kind of clean your taste buds off so that you can at least enjoy the other quote-unquote bland foods as much as possible. So gummy vitamins, they're made with cornstarch, gelatin, and of course water, sugar, and colorings. Now everybody knows by now that sugar can cause obesity, heart disease, and especially oral decay. Research suggests a balanced diet does not require fortified vitamins. And that definitely makes sense because you'll, say for example, if you look at a sweet potato, it'll have this vitamin, that vitamin, the other vitamin. One of the problems with produce though is they don't have the nutritional facts at the store, so you actually have to look it up at whatever, nutritioninformation.com. There's plenty of sites out there, just type in pineapple nutrition facts or avocado nutrition facts. And then they'll show you on there all the vitamins and minerals and what the percentage is. Because even if you buy packaged food, they don't have a lot of the vitamins and minerals listed on there. I mean, you know that they're in there somewhere, but they're just not listed. As long as the food wasn't grown in adulterated soil. Some companies will occasionally substitute the sugar with the sugar alcohol. And the sugar alcohol can attack your probiotics, your microbiotics inside, the flora in your intestines. So that can cause diarrhea, nausea, bloating, and otherwise digestive problems. Gummy vitamins and a lot of supplements in general are not regulated by the FDA. Now, is the FDA the most trustworthy organization? Not necessarily. But the fact that you can have supplementations out there that just come from, Big Joe Rosso's garage, or Big Joe Rosso could just call some company and have it drop shipped to your house if you order it online. So there is some risk in ordering supplements. Make sure you got to research them and everything and make sure they're just not all placebo. With gummy vitamins, 80% of them are tested, and they did not contain the same amount of the vitamins and minerals as they claimed on the label. And a lot of that is because they got to add in all the filler compounds and the sugar and the gelatin and the cornstarch and the colorings as well. So a lot of people could be allergic to colorings too. I mean, there are some people out there that are just allergic to something really random, like red food coloring or blue or yellow or caramel color. So if you suspect that you may be allergic to something like that, then it may not be such a bad idea to get one of those food allergy tests. They test your blood or they test the skin prick. And we will get into more of them. We discussed the LCAT earlier, but we will talk about some more in the future as well. So, now if you consume too many fats, like we talked about earlier, if you consume too many fat-soluble vitamins, it can be ADEK, excuse me. Vitamin C is not a fat-soluble vitamin. It's a water-soluble vitamin. Vitamin E, I just wrote it. I didn't write it down very good here, so I apologize for that. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin. And if you overdose on vitamin A, it could cause vision change, skin change, bone pain, liver damage, brain pressure, along with a litany of other problems too. So, in this case, it's probably more or less is more. See, as long as you're eating just decent food from a variety of sources and from clean soil, especially if you're eating your own food, and you can freeze food over the winter time too. You obviously want to leave it in a somewhat regulated freezer, not just throw it outside. Because, then animals might get a hold of it, or maybe the neighbor who's hungry might get a hold of it as well. Yeah, so it's just gummy vitamins. The general consensus is it's probably not a good idea, even for kids, because, if it's delicious and it's tasty and kids are under the assumption that it's healthy, they're going to think more is better, and they might eat the whole bottle and then all of a sudden have a litany of problems with the fat-soluble vitamins overdosing in their system. So there's also that to consider as well, ladies and gentlemen. But, yeah, just make sure people are getting a balanced diet, and that's really the name of the game. The gummy vitamins, they look healthy, they look great, they're colorful, they're cute and funny and fresh and everything, but they are very dangerous. As you'll notice, a lot of products on the shelves that are colorful in very bright packaging Almost none of them are healthy. In fact, they're all extremely dangerous too, especially sugar. Anything with sugar in it is very dangerous. And it's basically meant to harm you. There's no other functionality for sugar other than a slow death. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to call it good, and we thank you for joining us once again. Just remember, without you, we're absolutely nothing. This is a collaborative effort. You and I together in this war against just bad marketing to kids and trying to basically cause a slow death and a plague on society. Thank you very much once again.